Hey everyone, I'm Rather Coherent, back with Operation Mega Engine. It's going to be a difficult sabotage mission, but we've got to do it. It's going to encounter a dark event. Undying loyalty would be a huge problem. Admittedly, if an enemy dies and gets back up as a zombie, they're a lot less threatening, but they're still threatening. It's unpredictable. We really just want to be in more control, and this is the opposite of more control, so we need to make sure this doesn't happen. The sit reps here really hardly matter. What does matter is I finally figured out what's going on with my Pioneer and why he sometimes received huge melee bonuses. It's related to his emulator and more specifically the high velocity nozzle upgrades. It's super broken right now. First of all, these high velocity nozzles don't actually increase my range is the same no matter whether I have them equipped or not. Second of all, if I edit my range in the INI file that came with emulator and Kim thrower abilities, it doesn't affect the range, stays the same. Third of all, these high velocity nozzles increase your max range and your ideal range. The ideal range is that massive bonus that I was speculating was just a close range bonus, so that's what it is. However, for some inexplicable reason, that ideal range bonus is being applied to your melee weapons. The numbers I've been seeing, -2, 0, up to +3 most of the time, but very rarely like 69 or 119, those were the ideal range modifier numbers. That's what's being applied to my melee. And by not using these, the problem goes away entirely. So that's a solution. We just don't use these. And since it turned out they're doing nothing because they're bugged in my mod setup, that's not even a penalty. It's just making the character better, which is the opposite of what I want, because the whole reason I was looking at INI changes to make my flamethrower smaller is because I do believe Pioneers are in need of a nerf. Now, sparks are inherently strong. What they're doing is fundamentally super relevant. They're being covered, they're being a distraction for enemies that are active and dangerous. The Pioneer Spark is the one that specializes in that, so that's already incredibly strong, and it's good offensively on top of that. It's hard to nerf the ways it's good offensively without just making them unreliably random or very low damage, and then you just sort of stop using that offensive method and go for something else. But to talk about it in any great detail, I will have to go on at a great length. So instead of doing that, let's just talk about what we're bringing to the mission. We got Ashen Fortress, as previously mentioned. We have our A-Team pairs soon to be bonded, Slasher Hawk the Templar with a flashbang, and Lead Coffin with a pile of utility grenades. He has 2 gas grenades, 3 flashbangs, and a 1 normal frag. That's unfortunate for a sapper, but we've got 2 other sappers on the mission. Frantic Nightingale is carrying our frost grenade. Hidden Cube is carrying a whole lot of normal grenades. Everyone who can carry a shotgun does on my teams. We actually have a medic on Apex Disaster, our field medic. This is their first real mission. They aren't even in the thumbnail yet. Cosmic Sphinx has the full kit for a sniper, Exalt Long Lance, Shadow Keeper, tracer rounds, very accurate. And Iron Rhino's finally getting another real mission. They're our mobility stacking assault. They're only up to 15, but that's still substantial. They've got AP rounds in case they do fire their shotgun. Normal sword, that should almost certainly be the Hunter's Axe. And a frag grenade in case they somehow need it instead of any of their other options. Now, unfortunately, Iron Rhino's been on so few missions that they're still a corporal. They don't actually have breakthrough yet, making their slash pretty unsafe. Now, our team is pretty strong, but it has some clear weak links. Iron Rhino is not a sergeant yet, as I said. Our field medic is only a squatty. 2 of these people won't quite be carrying their weight, but with my Templar, my A-Team Sapper, and Ashen Fortress here, I think we'll be more than fine. Let's get into it. Let's head back into the sewers once again. We are miles away from the objective. It is very far from us. So let's get started. Let's begin scouting, seeing where things are at. Best use for a squatty medic is to scout line of sight and stay out of the fight, really. Thinking about it, maybe my medics should be in infiltrator disguises for individual concealment at low ranks, just because they're so useless that using them as a scout might be their best ability. For now, though, let's get Apex Disaster up top. It's too late for that this mission. Gonna move Ashen Fortress up top as well. I'm gonna try to move him pretty far forward, but I need to move someone else first because he has such a large detection radius. We can see Slasher Hawk will be fine just running out to here, but there's no cover, so I'm gonna move him to here, I guess. We're just trying to get more angles on this. Iron Rhino should be able to get pretty far forward. It is their job after all, and that'll get us the eyes I want. Looks like she didn't see anything. We can see better on our spark now. Unfortunately, if I move here, something can patrol in from the left. If I move here, there's no cover because Iron Rhino's in it. Oh yeah, peek from concealment lets me get to this location. So yeah, in that case, we'll just move straight to here. For everyone else, we're just trying to get as far forward as we can in the turn, get up top. And they can't get as far as I would like them to. Most of these people are pretty far back and pretty slow to boot. But they can still do something. I'm going to keep Cosmic Sphinx on the left side in case we need to have her shoot this turn. I don't think that'll be the case, but it could happen. And I think this is our last move. Everyone's piled up top, and we get to see where they're going.
Objective sighted.
That is a pretty big pod. Sectoid, 5 troopers, Purifier, Sniper, Demolitionist. So I'm going to first move my Spark to here, and then we're going to take a look at what's going on over the edge. We've only got 6 turns. We're going to need to start killing these things pretty soon, but we're still safe. And I mean, yeah, doing this is just the right thing to do. We're going to try to get into position for an Incinerator ambush, but if it doesn't come to fruition, that's completely fine. I'm going to move my Field Medic across to here and see if we get any eyes on something new. And I'm going to keep scouting with them. I'm going to move to here. It seems a little bit safer than this corner. I'm not 100% sure which is safer, but this feels slightly safer. Bit harder to flank. Because someone could just be like right here and walk in. That would be devastating for us. Iron Rhino can get to here, but honestly, that's just like begging for someone to walk past and reveal us, so I don't even want to do it. Honestly, I'm going to move Iron Rhino hard around on the flank, because I do think we're fighting the squad very soon. And no one else is ever doing this. The question is, where do I want to get exactly? I would prefer to be here, but that was never happening, because I can only get there from this side. And this side is actually a solid wall, despite what it looks like with translucency. This is like back where we started, and it's the map edge, so there's no chance a pod is here, I would think. Just in case, I'm going to move to this full cover, but I don't think it's necessary. The big thing is Iron Rhino's going to be in position to just move here and shoot someone when they scatter. Cosmic Sphinx should be moving up as far as they possibly can and automatically bracing. That's pretty straightforward. I love having snipers high enough to use that perk. I think everyone else will just be running forward as far as they can, which will likely be to this bar. Not for my Templar, sad to say. Or that character. I was completely wrong. So, Lead Coffin there, Templar here, Hidden Cube next to Lead Coffin. That's everybody. Let's see what the pod does. Sectoid Soldier leading the charge away from us, just like last time. I would really enjoy them sticking around and fighting us. And nothing else. I imagine we're out of range here. We absolutely are. There's no way for me to move forward. I'm actually still in their detection radius because he's so large. But we can get a really good Overwatch ambush here. And I think that's what we're going to be doing. Going to Overwatch here on Iron Rhino. I'm going to lead the target on my Sniper. Let's see who the target should be. I think I've got hundreds against the entire squad, so who do I want to hit the most? I want to hit this Purifier, because it'll have a chance to blow him up. Actually, it's guaranteed. That's disgusting. So, is this the Purifier's icon? It is. Lead the target against him. During their turn, the moment he moves, I'll shoot. He might detonate. I think it's a 50% chance, so it's not guaranteed. But if he does, it'll be sick. If he doesn't, it's still fine. I can't actually move Ashen Fortress. He'll just Overwatch where he is. I'm going to move up to here on Frantic Nightingale and just Overwatch with his shotgun. For these characters, moving up is a little bit awkward. I'm almost at full cover here, but I could just move here instead, get close to the full cover and Overwatch.
Okay.
Seems more reasonable, to be honest.
On Overwatch.
My medic's about to reveal themselves, so I just want them getting back with the group instead of being out and dangerous.
Location confirmed.
Lead Coffin, I'm going to move forward, even though it's not helpful. Actually, I can move to here instead. That'll get high ground and still move me closer to the pod. That's what I want. I just want to have someone far forward with the grenade so that if they do need a grenade like all the way back here, I'll have it. Slasher Hawk doesn't even need to Overwatch. He just needs to get in as close as he can, which is going to be this tile. And that's our last move. Let's see this Overwatch ambush go off. Having Reapers or Snipers to allow you to actually Overwatch ambush during their turn is incredibly nice. We're playing this a little bit out of order. Please let her lead the target first. There we go. Come on. Yeah, animation's a bit out of order. Uncharacteristic misses from Ashen Fortress, but it's good to see them once in a while. Start to worry about that man being a bit broken these days. Alright, that wasn't as good as I had hoped it would be, but it was fine. We killed half the squad. Now, the only thing I can get to on my Templar is this character, and I get on fire in the process. Can I route around it? No. My Templar might not be participating this turn. I have a nearly guaranteed kill on the sectoid here. I can move to here, shotgun and axe. Do I have an axe from behind it in the full cover, though? Just a slash strike? Yeah, I do. So that's obviously a better location to be. Let's see if this pulse fog of war is the most important thing. And let's figure out what other moves we're making before we take that attack in case we do find a way to pull an enemy. So that character's dead anyway. That character's dead anyway. Alright. I think we just need to kill this guy. And I imagine this is pretty close to guaranteed. It's not actually guaranteed. I don't want to move forward and risk pulling fog. So I'm just going to take the shot from here. Alright, that sorts everyone out nicely. Let's go see if it's actually true, though. On this slash, I'm not even close to a kill. I've got to throw the melee weapon. Oh, right, you're a soldier. Well, this is a 9% to get awkward. Well, it's not awkward. Absolutely demolished. I can shoot for the guarantee. I can also slash for the guarantee. And for nostalgia's sake, even though it doesn't matter, I'll choose to kill the sectoid with melee. I guess the flanking shot bonus I just saw was for the axe. I was a little bit confused about that. Here we can take our normal shot. Oh, I thought this was 100% a second ago. I must be losing my mind. I'm going to reload and take a snapshot. Let's see if he actually goes down. Good job, Cosmic Sphinx, making life a lot simpler for me. I'm going to move up Lead Coffin to here. If we get a fight, I'm expecting it to be on enemies running forward on the right. Lead Coffin, I'm going to move up, I guess, to here.
I see the path.
Ashen Fortress, I'll just reload and Overwatch. I'm going to move up to here. That gives me a line of sight that I otherwise wouldn't have. I'll just leave my shotgun unloaded and take this position instead. Field Medic. I'm going to move over here with my Templar, just get them further up. That's everybody. Let's see what happens. What's Advent up to? The Hunter is here. That's fine. It's not a beneficial map for him anyway.
Right on schedule.
Also, we've got Triple Sapper versus Shell Shock, so, don't pretend you're a problem, buddy. Hunter's gonna have a hard time finding high ground in line of sight of me this mission. I would know. I've been looking at the map with my sniper being sad.
Stay on top of its position and try to take it out.
Alright, first things first, I move Frantic Nightingale through to... I'm probably pulling as soon as I get on this cover. I'm gonna move my Field Medic to here and see if I get line of sight on anything. I haven't. That's good. I kind of want to move my Assault over here for line of sight into objectives, but that's absolutely crazy. He needs to be coming back, or she needs to be coming back, rather. I'm going to move Hidden Cube to this location and get line of sight through this area. Because I want to move everyone up to roughly here without pulling the other side of this. And so far, that's looking pretty doable. We've got 2 objective targets here. I don't think there's anything back here to shoot for the objective. So now we just want to move everyone forward without pulling line of sight. See, my Spark doesn't use cover, but it gets it for concealment. I don't know if it steps out is the issue. That's not a Spark, so it definitely steps out. I probably just pulled. Okay, I didn't. Jesus, that's very fortunate. There's really no way to have all my people over here without pulling this now that I'm looking at the area anyway, so I guess it's fine. Cosmic Sphinx will be sprinting to the other side of the store. Shouldn't really pull much fog of war compared to what I just did anyway. Iron Rhino is going to sprint up here. I actually would prefer to go around, and even though it means I'm further back and pulls less fog of war, I don't want to be running up that alley. Lead Coffin, I'll just drop down over here. Slasher Hawk runs as far forward as they can.
You're going to learn the hard way, Templar.
For some reason, my mech can't drop down this. I guess he's too large. I'll live, I'm just unhappy about it. And we'll take some objective shots on these characters because we do need to actually make sure the timer is manageable. This is one of the harsher missions in terms of timers.
Well done. As we had hoped, the network separation has been temporarily delayed.
Apex Disaster takes out a third one. I think Lead Coffin's got nothing to do, so I'll just be overwatching him. Oh no, he sees some too. They're just really far away and I didn't know they existed. Honestly, I should have pulled him back because I think he's the only person with this line of sight. So, yeah, that wasn't great. I should have just moved him. Alright, so the Chosen's up here. He's probably going live then. We're real close to that.
So,
Yep.
you got lucky once before. Managed to chase me off. I wouldn't get your hopes up for a repeat performance.
That's one of the Chosen. Heads up.
Talking a lot of shit for someone who's probably going to die this turn.
I turned down the Elder's helping hand.
Alright, fine. Fine. Oh, I thought he was shooting Lead Coffin. I didn't realize. Because Lead Coffin's name was highlighted. But yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say, if he just moved into line of sight and took the flank shot on Lead Coffin. Note to self, the Chosen can move into line of sight and then shoot you. They're not normal enemies. Lead Coffin's position was not safe. I needed everyone facing forward towards the Chosen. Lesson learned, no punish this time. So first things first, I'm gonna be moving up here. I don't think it particularly matters. It does. This position is available to Frantic Nightingale and no one else can take it, so I want to be right here giving him forward full cover. Incendiator is good, but it is kind of just blocked by line of sight here, which is unfortunate. And full cover on the Trooper, not getting it done this turn. And I'm certainly not running in there and pulling line of sight, because this is so close to the objective and I haven't seen anything yet on a difficult mission. There's gotta be pods back there. I'm just going to overwatch here and be a little bit sad about it. Frantic Nightingale, what can you get done? Well, you can throw a grenade. What's my sniper shot looking like on this Trooper? It's only 60%, and I know I can contribute towards killing the Hunter, but odds are for me to kill this guy, I have to blow up his cover, which means he doesn't drop his loot, so I'm going to take a 60% for loot instead. Damn shame. I'm going to run and gun my assault forward. May as well do it this turn. Take this position on the left. This could actually pull him one tile further over. It would be very unfortunate if it did. Thank God. I do think we need to kill this guy this turn. Does he even have grenades? Like, the Hunter's probably the bigger threat, right? Yeah, he doesn't have grenades. Worst case scenario, he gets a flank shot on one of these characters, and even then, like, he's probably going to shoot Ashen Fortress instead of suicide flanking these guys. So yeah, I'll just chuck this at the Hunter. Speaking of grenades, though, Yellow Alert's probably pulling the entire map to us next turn.
Now where's the skill in that?
But let's just keep hurling grenades at this guy. I don't think I want to blow out anything back there. I think I just want to destroy this area next to the Hunter. I might need this high cover very shortly. And I also need to keep those lines of sight closed right now. Hidden Cube is able to get to cover and launch a grenade. Good news. He's got nothing but grenades to launch, so good that he's here. Lead Coffin only has one normal grenade, but he might also be the only sapper left that's going to be able to throw a grenade at this, and he'll have to use his normal grenade if that's the case.
The best you can do.
Oh, I've got Rends. I mean, just because you can doesn't mean you should, you know? I'm going to move my Templar to here. Even though I could take the Rend, I really don't want to pull the Fog of War. Actions are taken this turn. I can't get a grenade where I want it, but it can help me kill at the end of the turn on the Trooper if I've got nothing else. What's the range on a frag look like? Lead Coffin's position was terrible. Not only was he flankable by the Hunter, he's one tile away from getting anywhere that I would want him.
Let's move already.
We're just gonna move up. We're not gonna suicide out here. We're one tile short of the Hunter from here. It's a train wreck. And now I'm regretting when I took that sniper shot, because it turns out I do have demolition. But I don't have anyone left to shoot the man. You ever take a 57% with a 50 to kill on the Hunter as your last action of the turn, basically? I don't know what else I'm doing here. Because this Trooper's not the threat. I've got a lot of people stacked because I originally was sure that I was going to kill him. Thank you, Templar. Oh, it's not a roll to kill because he's adversary Templars. Yeah. This is the first time a Templar's actually been on a mission with the Chosen, so I just got taken by surprise.
I'm beginning to understand why the Elders find you so interesting, Commander.
Because my tactics are really great until they suddenly and violently aren't, I guess?
Sure we'll see them again, but that Chosen sure wasn't expecting the fight we put up today, Commander.
I'm just going to Overwatch with a shotgun, try to encourage him to stay where he is. My medic really can't get to a good position. Anywhere she goes is either not covered or pulling Fog of War. So I'm just going to move her to here. She's not going to have line of sight on anything, but I'm going to Overwatch anyway. There's just nowhere further up that's actually safe to move at this point of the turn. Yeah, that's fine. Don't care at all. That is literally his job. Okay. Free reflex action. Minimum distance move. Let's see it.
Position located.
Oh, they're split across the wall. Little bit gross. First things first, what can my sniper actually see? Bad percentage shots because he's not on the high ground, which doesn't exist right here, or anywhere within movement range. I have to be all the way down there to get high grounds. I think I'm going to overdrive here, shield bash this man, and then kinetic strike the sniper. Maybe that's not a good play. Maybe I want to leave some of these people alive. Where can my Templar get to? Not relevant positions, huh? So my Templar is always taking this strike then, because no one else can, and he's going to fall back to... Oh, pulling line of sight is where he's falling back to. I think just right here then. We need to figure out where people are moving to and take our biggest line of sight pulls first. Frantic Nightingale is a great spot to be. Iron Rhino is going to slash forward. There's a lot of map left. I'm not sure it's safe to slash there. And I've got a priest who can take a flank around here if I move anyone to these positions. I can accept that. A priest's normal gun isn't going to deal that much damage, and they're prone to using Holy Warrior or Stasis instead of shooting anyway. The big thing is I have to pull line of sight here. There's no getting around it. It's just a question of what line of sight do I think is the safest to pull. I think the line of sight that I'm most guaranteed to pull is here. I can move here and avoid this alley, but there's windows facing it. What I'll do is I'll take this position and see what it pulls. It's the most generally safe to any possible flank, and on top of that, it's going to be safe to anything it pulls. Most of the positions I can take here get flanked by the Fog of War they actually pull. This also has, like, by the same merit, that degree of safety. But I'm not moving in this direction during the rest of my turn. This is pulling Fog of War I'm going to have to pull at some point anyway. Okay, that's good news at least. No one else can take this position that Frantic Nightingale has. They're just all out of range of it, so Frantic Nightingale always takes this position. A part of me wants to throw this grenade on the Stun Lancer and then just drop a defensive mine in front of me. But the Stun Lancer is able to go for Slasher Hawk anyway. That's not necessarily true. I can move here with the Shield Bash. And then for the Stun Lancer to get to Slasher Hawk, he'll have to walk past my Counter-Strike mech. That's actually a really good idea. It saves Overdrive for next turn, too. Oh, nice. I forgot about Breakthrough allowing me to reposition even more. I can move to the other side of the Purifier, still get my Counter-Strike there, still body block, but do it even more efficiently for the Stun Lancer. I really hope I don't blow up this cover for my Templar here. These sorts of things on the edge of the map are always indestructible, but in the middle of the map, I actually don't know if they're indestructible. I think they are. I feel like I blew up a purifier on one of these very recently and it stuck around, but I could be remembering a different sort of structure. Anyway, we're doing this. We're protecting ourselves from the stun lancer. Drop this defensive mine. Chuck a frag grenade down at the stun lancer. Blow up some full cover over there as well. Now, hitting cube's not getting in a great position this turn. That's just the end of it. Let's preview movement on that stun lancer. We need to see his 2-turn move. And more specifically, we need to know how far it goes. He could actually get here and stun. So I can't take these positions. Otherwise, the stun lancer can come at me. What's Cosmic Sphinx looking at again? A 56% on that guy. I think hitting cube just moves up to this position and launches a grenade downrange. We got a good shot on this Advent Trooper. Can we position it to get this objective too? We can. This might kill outright, or it might just give my sniper a better shot, but again, I think those things are indestructible. The grenade didn't kill, and as I thought, that cover's indestructible, so we've still got a problem. Although, to be honest, not much of one, because I can just take the chip shot with Advent Trooper, or with Iron Rhino against the Advent Trooper, rather. I can't really move up here, though, even though I would like to. The Stun Lancer might actually be able to reach most of this, making it a non-option anyway, right? I could move to, like, here, one behind the baskets. The barrels, rather, the other B word that stores things. But it pulls a good chunk of Fog Award. It's just not safe. And again, I can't move here because if I did, the Stun Lancer could just target me. Actually, that might not be true. He might be out of line of sight, but the sniper could reposition and get line of sight. I'm just gonna move 1 tile closer to my destinations, I guess 2 tiles closer, and pick him off. It's really the best thing Iron Rhino is doing this turn. Down here on Lead Coffin, I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna pick off another objective. Because again, he's just out of range of helping. And lastly, Cosmic Sphinx and Apex Disaster. I actually forgot about Apex Disaster. I didn't remember that they existed. I'm gonna move Apex Disaster. They could just move here and take flank shots. There's not great cover to be had. I'm gonna move Apex Disaster all the way back here. There's terrible lines of sight from that location, even though it has better cover. And I move Cosmic Sphinx to here. She's dashing, so she should get the auto brace immediately. Try to move, gets counter-struck immediately. Ah, he actually gets to live. He doesn't have great targets for an Incinerate here immediately. Oh, he seems very confused. I'm fine with that. I just don't know why he spent his turn that way. Yeah, we planned for that. Oh, he had loot. Well, we should have done a different plan then. Whoops. Alternatively, we could have just won the 50-50 and had him go for Slasher Hawk, though. At some point, though, Stun Lancers are just a terrifying enemy and I'm not playing for loot. Who's got the Overwatch? Oh, there's a priest on the other side of this and we knocked out the wall. That's pretty funny. Why can't I go through this area? This is a solid wall. Map, please. You know what would have solved this problem neatly? If I'd bothered to invest in lightning reflexes on Slasher Hawk before the mission. Really should do that sometime. Anyway, Action Fortress is just a perfectly fine solution to this. Let's just go take the shield bash on this Advent Sniper. It'll pull the Overwatch. It has a 2/3 chance of killing the sniper. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, just keep landing your hits, man. Oh, hey! I'm surprised he didn't already see you guys. Now, I get a non-movement action back immediately. I might overdrive with it. I'm going to overdrive. This will now give me 1 normal action and 1 non-movement action. I'm gonna use my normal action to kill this Stun Lancer, or sorry, this normal trooper. Or try to, I guess. 2/3 is far from guaranteed, but I also just want to distract everyone back here. Jesus Christ, Fortress, stop that. Part of why he seems so broken is just that he keeps landing his hits. Because we successfully melee attacked, I guess we're getting a breakthrough move. I'm not even sure what the second one is from. But I am sure if I move here, I can take an incinerator shot on everything in the back room and distract everyone who's alive. So, Sniper might be dead, Sectoid probably taking a lot of damage. Yep. Sectoid might actually die in 2 turns from the burning. Ashen Fortress is just gross. What a fucking unit. Like, originally I thought the Incinerator was going to be a kind of bad gun, but it's just not. It's just easily the best based weapon in the game, it feels like. Anyway, over here, Frantic Nightingale has the chip shot to kill the Purifier, so we take that first, I guess. I don't believe there's anyone who can possibly get a flank from this position. Who's moving where that would be weird? What Fog of War can we pull this turn? Honestly, we might be able to avoid pulling almost any Fog of War this turn. Maybe instead of taking the chip shot, I want to take a grenade. That'll hurt this trooper and guarantee the explosion hurting the priest. That actually seems way better. I don't have a frost bomb in the first place. I was going to say I'm making some assumptions about where line of sight lets this grenade go. But it turns out that wasn't even the problem. I had other issues at hand. Wall is still intact. We're going to try from over here on our sappers. Lead Coffin can only take this one, so I'm going to be moving him up. Hidden Cube can take the other side. Hidden Cube has one more grenade left than Lead Coffin, even though he's been throwing on every turn, so I'm going to try to get his to do this. And it looks like he has the perfect shot. Knock him dead, man. Oh yeah, I should probably worry about that med drone at some point. It's really not a high priority, though. Oh. You can just kill them all, too, I guess. That was a bit of a high roll, but I'll take it. It looks like the Purifier explosion dealt 5, so I think that might have actually been a guaranteed kill on the Priest. I didn't think about that. I thought it dealt like 2 to 4 or something. I didn't realize it was so devastating. No, Slasher Hawk, are you catching on fire no matter what now? I'm going to move to here and hunker down then to avoid taking wounds. You know what I could have done instead? I could have let the medic heal him, and then he could have taken a turn that actually did something. Frantic Nightingale, your cover seems to not exist anymore, my man. Just move up into safety. I don't want you getting shot unnecessarily. Your turn's over. Lead Coffin can move up to here. I don't believe that Sectoid can make it all the way down and flank him in one move. Yeah, he's short several tiles. So Lead Coffin can just move forward. I can also take a shot at the drone. Sniper sadly doesn't have eyes. I'll take a 62 at the drone rather than pulling some fog. Very nice.
How many is that now? Draining out.
I wouldn't mind getting a kill on Iron Rhino, so I'm going to move them up to try to get the slash kill on the Sectoid next turn. They've already got the promotion to Sergeant. That's the really big thing I need, so it's not a big deal if I miss it, but they're a stacking soldier. They spend a lot of time just sort of doing covert ops and not making the progress I would like. I'm pretty sure we've already moved through this area this turn, but I think I'm remembering that wrong, actually, as I think further on it. This position is safe to everyone we pulled so far. Cosmic Sphinx can't really get into good positions from here. The best position I just gave to the medic, unfortunately. Rather than pulling Fog of War, I'm just going to reload and Overwatch. 2 burning on the Sectoid. He's got very bad odds of doing anything relevant. Yeah, this is what his most likely option was. Sure, it's not like the damage meant anything, but sure, just take the 24% to not take damage. Let's give this slash kill over to my Assault. Iron Rhino needs to stack experience when I actually have them on missions, because they're going to be going on like 10 covert ops over the course of the campaign, which is pretty unusual for an A-team soldier. Yeah, it's fine. We can do the objective here with Slasher Hawk, and that'll be the mission. Was that only 2 pods? It was 3 pods. There were 2 on the objective, 1 before.
X4 charges are active.
So difficult missions are able to have only 3 pods, and I feel like I had a moderate that had 4 earlier. So I don't think I can actually make predictions about how many pods are on a map. What I'm guessing is that these modifiers add or subtract pods to the base number per mission type, and if I had a lot more information, I could predict what it was. But I don't have anything close to the game knowledge required to guess how many pods are on a map accurately. So I'm going to stop trying to do that, because it turns out I've been getting very lucky with those guesses. 18 kill with a flawless mission. Good job, everyone. Very strong performance out of most of you. Let's see it. Medic doing literally nothing. Interestingly, they hit their only shot but dealt no damage. Cosmic Sphinx did her job pretty well, but honestly not very impressive. MVP to Iron Rhino, really. 4 kills, 34 damage, landing most of their shots. Yeah, fair. I expected to go to Ashen Fortress just because he actually did anything, which is usually how it goes. Lead Coffin really not doing much this mission, but he did land all of his shots. Oh! They might have 0 damage if they're shooting the objective, because that's most of what his shots were at, and he has very low damage for a shotgun with 3 hits. Slasher Hawk doing his job, but not actually getting that much done. Only 3 kills and 23 damage actually on Ashen Fortress, and missing exactly half their shots. Frantic Nightingale doing really good work, landing all their shots, dealing 24 damage and 3 kills. And despite that amazing play at the end, if it worked for that hidden cube would have done actually nothing. This is a little bit unfair. They'd be competing for MVP, I think. It didn't count the Purifier as a kill for hidden cube. The explosion from the Purifier that killed the Priest, that damage and that kill didn't go to him, because he got 3 kills in that single grenade. Anyway, good job, Iron Rhino. Nice to see you getting an MVP. Let's get out of here. Looks like we got some decent promotions out of that. Slasher Hawk going up, Iron Rhino going up, our field medic starting to be a little bit less trash. We'll see the other two in a hot second. Illyrium cores, Wildcats, a speedloader. Speedloaders are just always really nice to have. Pile of corpses, no mechs unfortunately, so we might not be able to start a second mech when the first one finishes. Outrider frame is kind of crazy. I thought the mobility frame would be going on my assaults, but just 20 to crit on basically every attack an assault ever takes, that's ludicrous. That's so insanely strong.
Efficiently executed.
Anyway, we countered the dark event. Let's go to our armory and see how many soldiers actually exist right now. It's not going to be pretty. Okay, so Lead Coffin and Slasher Hawk are actually still ready to go. Are they able to bond yet? That would be really nice. Oh, he's able to bond with Wretched Phoenix. Well, it's fine. I'm not going to send them on the bond mission until I have more soldiers on deck. I also don't know if I even need to, because I could just keep sending them on missions together and they would get it eventually. They do have enough cohesion for that. Anyway, let's take the promotion on Slasher Hawk. Now, Fuse is absolutely incredible. It turns an explosive an enemy has, which is like the most dangerous thing possible, into a weapon for you. It's just fantastic. Meditate allows you to start off with 3 energy, or after you use your abilities and the fight ends, jump back up to 3 energy. Both of those are really good. And Lightning Reflexes is obviously insane. Fuse is the best long-range damage that Slasher Hawks can have access to for quite a while. Meditate's nice to have, but not necessary. I have enough AP on the soldier to spy Fuse and Lightning Reflexes without dipping into my XCOM AP, though. So that's a pretty huge upgrade. Much better at long range, much better at breaking overwatches, tremendously better soldier after those buys. Iron Rhino, congratulations, you can actually do your job now. After you slash somebody, you're allowed to move. Point and click demolition on Frantic Nightingale. We're gonna say that a lot this campaign with all the sappers and combat engineers I've made who ended up being real soldiers I have to use. Okay, so we have to talk about Adrenaline Rush here. It is basically run and gun. I think I've used it twice in the campaign so far. It's criminal how little I've used this ability because it's absolutely fantastic. The big issue is that usually my medics aren't in position to get a good run and gun, so I'm not thinking of them as assaults. But honestly, I should be much more aggressively using my medics because of this ability. And then after I use this, start slowly pulling them back into the rest of my soldiers so they can heal things. But at the start, my medics really should be super aggressive because of Adrenaline Rush and only pull back once people start taking damage, or at least once this is on cooldown. And now the only promotion is Dead Titan, who hasn't actually, been on a mission since they got it, so it's fine. And that's all of our promotions handled. There's immediately a mission ready. I didn't actually mean to go to the Geoscape, but it looks like there's an infiltration that's finished. Yeah, we don't even have a strategy layer this time. We're just ready for the next mission, which is good. It means I have time to talk about mods and game balance. So let's start talking about game balance and modding and my current goals in the strategy and tactical layers. So let's start with the mod talk, and let's begin that with Peek from Concealment. Peek from Concealment has generally just been a good thing for the campaign. There have been a few moments where it felt pretty abusable, and my Reaper feels like they're always going to be abusing it. My first thought was to reduce the grace tiles from 2 to 1, that way only the tile that gives you the cover makes you safe, but that doesn't work because the second tile back from the roof's edge is usually seen by somebody, meaning that you're not actually safe to move up to the edge of a building. And that's the whole point of Peek from Concealment. So what I'll be doing to slightly nerf Peek from Concealment instead is increase the universal detection radius buff from 1 to 2. That'll make it a little bit more restrictive without compromising its core goals and trying to counterbalance a little bit what's been happening. Frankly, I'm not sure how big of a deal it'll be, but it's worth a shot. Next, let's talk about Ashen Fortress, because there appear to be some issues. This is the detail screen. I don't usually use that often, but it's a telling screen for Ashen Fortress. His current rank is hard to immediately compare because he uses different names, but he's a Vanguard. It's the third to last rank. All of these lieutenants are a rank under him. The third to last rank for us is Captain, for humans I mean. The people who are my best soldiers are an entire rank behind Ashen Fortress. Now, that's not necessarily because he's overpowered. If you look at them, 5 missions, 4 missions, 5 missions, 5, 3, 4, 6, 5. Ashen Fortress has been on 9. That's because he's a Spark. No matter what sort of balance the individual Spark has, they can go on missions non-stop. He's been on 5 assaults in like the last 7 or 8 days of game time. It's wild. His kills at 36 stand out as being way higher than anyone else. The second highest in my entire army is Black Cat at 20, it looks like. But it's because he's been on so many more missions. In terms of kills per mission, he's not that far ahead of everyone else. So while I do think the Pioneer is definitely overpowered, this massive increase in experience and kills is more a consequence of the missions than the individual unit's strength. The crazy thing about his power level isn't how strong he is offensively. He's pretty strong offensively, but honestly, coming over to his weapons, the Spark Shield's dealing 4 to 5 on a melee hit, and it's not guaranteed to hit, unlike assaults. It's one of the worst melee options I actually have available. The Kinetic Strike is dealing more damage, but with roughly the same chance to hit, and again, it's not actually a very good melee option. And the crazy thing about this guy is his 15 health plus the additional 10 health that he's getting from the Spark Shield. He is incredibly durable. He performs his job as a tank to an extreme degree, and that combined with his melee abilities is honestly fine. He'd be really good, but I feel like when you make fundamentally super powerful character concepts, they're always going to be really good unless you nerf them to the point of non-viability, and I'm fine with that. The big issue with his power level is this Incinerator. The Incinerator hits like a truck, 3 to 6, can hit several enemies simultaneously. I need to figure out how to nerf this thing, and I won't be starting the next video until I've comprehensively went through every INI and config I can find, trying to find some way to tone this thing down, because it is crazy. The amount of damage and range this thing has is just nuts. It hits, on average, for very slightly less than the Assault Rifle, but it can inflict burning and hit unlimited numbers of people. Very frequently it's hitting at least 3, usually up to 4, 5, 6, the whole damn pod, right? Combining the long range, wide radius, and damage with the burn chance, this thing is just ridiculous. The Incinerator really is the balance problem for Pioneers, in my opinion. If you just remove the Incinerator entirely, I don't think they'd be overpowered at all. They'd be very fair. And toning down the Incinerator is probably what I need to do to make him balanced. So I'm going to be looking into that between videos, trying to find out anything that I can do to fix it. Now, I'm already in contact with the mod authors, insofar as posting on their mod page's contact, about the high velocity nozzle problem I'm experiencing. And if all this stuff gets sorted out and I find out how to change it, then it's possible I'll just go into an INI, nerf the gun, and that'll be that. That's what I'm hoping I can do. While editing the video, I decided to cut out what I said next. None of it matters because I found a way to nerf Pioneers. I found the config files I needed to change to cut his immolator range from 12 tiles to 7, making it a dedicated short-range weapon, and preventing him from doing all the really gross stuff he's doing, with blue move flanks that hit 4 people, or just ambushes from 12 tiles away where he hits the whole pod. Most of that stuff isn't possible with a shorter immolator, and it feels a lot more fair and balanced now. But because conversations naturally flow and go from one subject to another, I need to catch you up on what I'm cutting out. I was talking about what kind of sparks I were going to build next, and no matter what, whether I kept using pioneers or not, my next one was going to be an infiltrator. Because if I have 2 sparks in the same mission, I want an infiltrator to be one of them. I don't want to stack the same spark, for the same reason I don't want to stack any class. It's just better to have more diverse abilities to solve more problems. And I might make an artillery as the 3rd, even though I'm pretty confident that I don't like artillery without even having ever played them. I think I'm going to make one just to try it out. It's the same reason I'm continuing to use the skirmisher even though I think it's a bad class. I just want to play with it and get a better feel for it, and have the ability to give better feedback on it once I'm done with this campaign. One last mod change, I am going to be turning off Ruler Reaction Revised and trying to use Ruler Rework instead. The big reason is that Ruler Rework, A, it does what I thought it did, which is they only interact with you if you shoot them, which I prefer vastly, because it means that they're no longer automatically the focal point of any fight they enter, no matter how out of the way they are. But the other thing that it does is it gives them 1-action turns. And the fact that they're not getting turns is really weird. I'm fine with it being 1 action, because that means they can't move and flank you after their insanely unpredictable series of reactions. But it does mean you can actually watch what they're doing, know they're going to get an action, and intelligently choose what to do. And it gets rid of that weirdness where you end your turn and they do literally nothing, which just doesn't feel right. So I'm switching over to that. And those are the only big mod changes that I feel the need to talk about right now. There will certainly be more to come in the future, but that's all for now. Quickly covering the strategy layer of things, we are, or I think we are at least, most of the way through our fatigue spiral. Obviously we don't have soldiers now, but we have this team about to finish their mission, this covert action finishing, this person's not that far away from actually healing. For some reason when I sort by status, they aren't actually all in the same group, wounded and lightly wounded there, lightly wounded and wounded here. I'm not sure why they're split up. But you can see we're going to have a lot of people coming back in the next 10 days. If we stick at Templar HQ, we'll get them back even faster. We also have a lot of tired, but some of these people will actually be back relatively soon. Our shaken timers are getting lower as well. Basically 10 days from now, almost everyone will be back. I think the longest timer we have on anyone is 12 days, 16 on one person. Other than that, it's May 16th. So before the month takes over, every single person will be back in the barracks, ready to do it again next month. And I've realized that this is sort of a self-inflicted problem. What I should be doing is when I get my covert options at the start of the month, I shouldn't just send out everyone I have immediately. I don't have good ways to show it now because most people are back, but here, for instance, Wretched Phoenix wasn't available during this gauntlet of missions. He was one of my best combat engineers until he went to do this and everyone else kept getting experience and patching him up. I should have sent this later in the month. I should have let him go on the assaults at the start of the month, and then when he got back in the middle of the month, sent him to go do this. And the way it times out, there's 1 day left. He would have enough time to recover by the start of the next month. Because all of the Avatar assaults come in the first 10 days. Not Avatar assaults, Dark Event counters. Because all of those come in the first 10 days, I don't want to send anyone on a covert op unless they're a dedicated covert op soldier in the first 10 days of a month. That's really important, and I didn't know that going into this month. And that'll also help a lot with my fatigue spirals in future months. Now, what are our plans other than scan at Templar HQ? It's make contact with Western US and push towards Skirmisher and Reaper HQ. We want to start hunting the other Chosen once we get the chance to, and this is the path towards that. Hunting Chosen increases our reputation, gives us the ability to get more faction heroes, and we really, really want that. Here, with the Templar, it's nice. With the Skirmishers, it's obviously not a big deal to me, but with the Reapers, it's tremendous. I want as many Reapers as I can possibly get, and that's how we're going to do that. For tech, I've already gone over what I'm doing. I'm pushing through Gauss weapons, then doing plated tech, then getting the bridging tech to make all of that stronger, and then going psionics. I think my original plan might have had psionics before bridging techs, but that's definitely wrong. I should not do that. For what I'm doing here, I'm definitely prioritizing the infirmary with this workshop. I'm going to be excavating this as fast as I can to build a power relay here and destroy this one. With these last 2 build slots I'm going to have, I think I'm leaning towards a laboratory and a GTS to get PCSs available and to get my scientists out of my crew quarters, because I'm very low on that. Even with a lab and the crew upgrade, I only have 14, 15 more slots for soldiers, and that's really, really low. I don't want to hire more soldiers because I'm going to be getting those faction soldiers I was just talking about. I'm going to get mission reward soldiers. And I don't think if I hire recruits, I'll actually have space for them. I'll eventually have to fire them. Speaking of, we actually haven't seen a single mission that gave a soldier reward. What I'm thinking it probably is coming over to activity chains. There's either an informant threshold where you start getting those, or like the second type of supply missions, it's unlocked by a later radio relay, the second, third, whatever. So I think what I need to do is unlock more areas and build more radio relays to actually get the ability to have soldier rewards, which is why it's such a high priority for me. Unfortunately, the only way to do that is with more intel, and I'm currently sitting at 59, 21 short of what I need. Once I can make contact, I will drop what I'm doing, even if it's Templar HQ to go do that. But I don't actually know that I need to be at Templar HQ looking back at this. I have a lot of wounds right now. It'll depend on how our current mission goes. If these infiltrating guys come back at, like, ready for a mission, I will immediately drop what I'm doing, stop scanning at Templar HQ, because I'll be able to go on whatever mission gets thrown at me, and start doing productive things on the map. But right now, I have enough wounded that it's worth doing, as long as I'm not already out of full team. Not that it matters, because we won't be scanning anything. We're already done with the strategy layer today, because we have an infiltration mission ready to go. Next time, we'll be taking on Operation Radioactive Justice, hell yeah. The sit reps are an Exalt squad. As far as I'm concerned, that's great. Those guys are loot pinatas. They are scary as hell, admittedly. It's a bit of a push and pull there. But they do drop their guns, which I really appreciate. We don't start with concealment, but everyone, I think, is wearing disguises. We'll check that in a second. It's a hack objective. We get 20 intel. We're 1 short. That's a travesty. And a resistance rumor. So, do we have a tech spec on the team? We do. Doll Eyes isn't great at the job, but it does mean we at least get a chance to get whatever the reward is from this mission. Alongside her, we have a balanced team? This must have been sent before the nightmare. Is this every class? Combat Engineer, Sapper, Marine? Oh, we're missing Marksman, aren't we? Who's doubled? We've got 2 Marines on this mission. Wild. So instead of a Marksman, we have a second Marine, and our 8th slot goes to Skirmisher. That's actually a pretty damn balanced team, just lacks a Marksman. Everyone's in their civilian disguises. No one really has anything. That's not true. I gave Gothic Toaster the best possible gun and then forgot to give her the mag shorty, which is kind of funny. And it looks like we actually did fit out some weapon attachments on this team. Not many. Seething Orca might be the only other character with weapon attachments. Kind of makes it look like an accident. We fitted out Guilty Chimera because we thought it might help his problem, that maybe the Bullpup just needed more weapon mods to function, and maybe the Skirmisher really needed them. But generally, everyone's just rocking civilian disguises and a single frag grenade. The mission difficulty's only moderate, right? Yeah, the difficulty's only moderate. I think we're gonna be just fine. But that's next time. For now, I'm done. I've been Rather Coherent. I hope you've been enjoying the series. In spite of various mod and balance issues that it's having, we'll work them out as we go. And I'll see you in the next one.